Yes, I wear my fatherland hats, and fatherland is merely a facilitator of dialogue to bring our peoples who have been divided by external forces, in my opinion, to the point of hating each other and not being able to join hands to build a future for their children, with a view to harnessing the resources that our God has blessed us with. Is to facilitate the bridge building, the dialogue. And so as part of that exercise, I will be hosting and anchoring the discussion, and lovely lineup of speakers, excellent speakers all around, great messaging, which is really what we want for the audience, and the diversity of viewpoints. That is such an honest conference, because that's what we want. We want them to know that there's an honest dialogue going on, recognizing the points of difference, the issues of difficulty, but then at the same time looking for the common ground, recognizing that nobody's winning from the current situation.
And if you look at our people, it's just that we've allowed politics, and you know, I'm really excited to see someone like Nsima here, because generally people have made this an Igbo thing. But we share so much in common. For the most part, a lot of us, you know, our names, our gods, Ekpo society, you name it. You talk about Nsibidi, all these things you find across that region. And these are the things that bind us, and we need to reconnect with those things. The foods, there are just so many things.
My name is Timothy Modu Jnr, because my dad is Timothy Modu Sr. And my dad was part of, if you like, the strategic team at the heart of Biafra. So more or less a very close partner and ally with Philip Effiong Sr. Conduct, and best described as perhaps the ambassador at large for Biafra. So that's what what I have. I've got some of his information and record, and so most of the things I speak from what I know from his records. I'm interested in a number of areas. One is the pre-war history, in fact dating further back on the Aro Confederation, and there's a particular reason I want to go that far, because when you actually look at the relationships that existed before active colonial presence, you will begin to see how our confederation was composed of. So you have the BBOs, you have all other nations all coming together for various missions and purposes that they cut across areas beyond Nigeria, Cameroon, and Equatorial Guinea. And they had their HQ at Arochukwu. So if this confederation that was a full government of its own operated and, you know, decided to form their relationships based on whatever mission they have, then I think it's important, by taking people back to that sort of pre-existing confederation, it gives us some idea of relationship that exists, and then you begin to ask yourself. So it allows those who will speak post colonial or the advent of the colonial to be able for us to separate between what the relationships were in some of those small confederations or confederations that were there, what the relationships were, and why, what happened, how it turned sour. So my focus will be about that, because first I'm an Anoro person myself, Arondi Zorg, which is in Imo State, and then Arochukwu, which is not in Imo State, but so I will be speaking from that aspect.
So my name is Tamuno Tonye Elekima. I'm from Bukuma. Bukuma is in the Calabar Kingdom, which is an Izon speaking part of Biafra land. So I'll, in my 10-minute presentation, so just off the top of my head, I will combine two things. One would be the line that binds us all, there are certain things that we've got, in common as people. Sometimes people could hear my supreme leader say things like, our way of dress, our cultures, and all that. When we look at our mothers, that is, those are things, even in our languages, there are some things that we say, some words that are there that if we didn't have some kind of similar background at some point, there's no way we could have shared those words. And then also the participation of women, and how, it's always been from the beginning of time, it's been there. Our women have always been strong. And how maybe I'm trying to encourage, younger women. It doesn't matter how old you are, even if you're a girl, freedom doesn't have any age, any number or size. Everybody deserves, a right to be free. So women should also, be as active in this as well as the men, and also we should educate our, female children about everything that is going on around us so that they are aware, and nobody's supposed to be left out. Thank you very much.
Sure. So I would like to touch on my my idea of Biafra itself, which is inclusive of the Igbo nation, the Ibibio, the Zon, and everyone else, the Yoruba, and how it would work in a way that allays the fear of the other groups of Igbo domination. Because I feel like that's a legitimate concern that people have. I can't brush it under the carpet. And I've spoken to a lot of people, and I feel that there is a general consensus as to, if we had Biafra today, for instance, what will that Biafra look like in such a way that the other groups are not dominated unnecessarily. Of course, you have entrepreneurship and business, that's different, that's free market. But in terms of government itself, police, military, civil service, and so on, so that people are actually in charge of their own destiny. So that's how I would like to tackle it. That'll be my contribution.
Feeling of we are not Biafrans, or the Igbos don't like the Izon, or the Igbos are only trying to lure the Izons to align with them, and for them to subjugate us, for them to take control of our beings, our land, our region, and everything, was because my uncle Ezigboh stood up, organized, mobilized, and because he felt we cannot continue to suffer like this while we are endowed with a lot of natural resources that can better our life, reasons. And he declared for the Niger Delta People's Republic, a sovereign republic, an independent sovereign republic.
My name is Nsima. I'm from Akwa Ibom. Akwa Ibom is Biafra, and we must protect and defend our land. As a young person, in this generation, what I feel, should be the right thing. What I feel my people should know about Biafra, and why I feel that Biafra, as a young person in this generation, even without knowing the history of what happened, should believe and should know and should fight for as a young person. One, the marginalization. Some 5 years ago, my people used to be boy, if you understand that word, and I want to use that word, boy, house help, Akada riders, yet we have all the resources, and there was nobody, and there's nobody to speak for us. And then linking up with the history of Biafra, where I would say the late General Philip Effiong, who was the last president of Biafra, which some of my younger generation don't know about. So I will use that as an avenue to pass a message that the reason why we feel, some of my people, I mean the BBO people, Anang and some of us in Akwa Ibom feel that we are not part of Biafra is because of the lack of history.
Yeah, I'll be focusing on the issue of inferiority and inferiority complex of our people in the coastal region of Biafran land, who still, you know, sees themselves as Niger Delta, something that actually is alien to us as a people, but you know, with one or two things or one or two incidents that happen.
And what I also like about your presentation, it goes to show that we're not unanimous of one view, that everybody is a Biafran and everybody is happy with that. This is constructive dialogue between people taking different positions, but they're able to talk with a view to finding a common understanding.